Europe in 2026 is calling, but your bank account is side-eyeing the whole idea. Flights, hotels, food, everything feels pricier right now.
The good news? There are still places in Europe where you can travel comfortably without staring at your credit card like it personally betrayed you.
These are 10 destinations we've actually visited, places where your money still gets you real value in 2026.
And yes, you can absolutely have a European adventure without emptying your savings account. So let's get started.
First up is Slovenia, which continues to fly under the radar for most travelers. Lake Bled looks like someone photoshopped a castle onto a postcard, and yet you can visit it on a very modest budget.
A good typical meal is around 12 to 15 euros. Hotels in shoulder season run about 60 to 90 euros a night. Trains and buses, they're still some of the best values in Europe.
Spring and fall are perfect. Fewer crowds, lower prices, and mild weather. And if you love hiking, the Julian Alps will spoil you.
And don't just stop at Lake Bled. Go a little farther and you'll hit Lake Bohinj, which we actually prefer. It's quieter, cheaper, and surrounded by incredible trails.
Ljubljana, the capital, is one of the easiest European cities to love. Riverside cafes, pedestrian streets, and a castle that you can reach by funicular or a short hike. And it's totally manageable on foot.
And if you want something different, head into the karst region. Postojna Cave and Scotian Caves are two of the most impressive cave systems in Europe, and they don't cost a fortune.
Slovenia is the affordable version of Alpine Europe, except it still feels intimate and personal. Instead of overcrowded, it's one of the few places where you feel like you stumbled onto a secret.
Hungary is next, and yes, Budapest is the big draw. But the country has so much more going on if you step outside the capital.
Let's talk costs first. You can still get a hotel room in Budapest for 45 to 80 euros in shoulder season. Local meals run about 10 to 15 euros, a full transit day pass around 5 euros, and most walking tours cost between 10 and 20 euros.
And here's where Hungary gets even better. Leave Budapest and the prices drop again. Head to Pecs, one of Hungary's oldest cities. It's beautiful Roman and Ottoman ruins. They have bright, colorful streets and museums that cost a fraction of what you pay in Western Europe.
Or visit Eger, famous for wine cellars carved right into the hillside. Tastings start around 8 to 12 euros, and a nice guest house in town is usually around 35 to 55 euros.
Sopron is another favorite, right near the Austrian border. It's full of medieval towers and narrow laneways, but without the Austrian price tag. Great for hikers and wine lovers.
And if you want lakes, Hungary has a big one, Lake Balaton. It's affordable, great for swimming in summer, and packed with small family-run pensions for 40 to 60 euros a night.
The best times to go are April, May, September, and October. Summer is buzzing around Balaton, but shoulder season gives you warm weather and better pricing.
Poland is one of Europe's best deals. It's affordable, but everything feels incredibly well-kept and full of life.
Krakow is the headliner. The Old Town, Wawel Castle, and Rynek Glowny, which is one of the largest medieval squares in Europe. Meals can be about 8 to 12 euros, and hotels range from 40 to 70 euros if you're not right in the main square.
If you like the coast, head to Gdansk. It's colorful, historic, and has a relaxed seaside energy that feels completely different from the rest of the country.
And for something unique, check out Wroclaw. The architecture pops, the food scene is great, and the little gnomes scattered around the city make exploring fun.
Best time to visit is May or September. Great weather, lighter crowds, and better pricing.
Poland gives you serious value without feeling like you're cutting corners.
Portugal is still fantastic for budget travel, but prices are starting to rise. So head to the places locals love: Guimarães, Porto, Coimbra, and the smaller Algarve towns.
If you avoid high seasons, Portugal is still one of Europe's smartest travel choices.
In Porto, you can usually get a good hotel room in the 50 to 90 euro range in shoulder season, and meals hover around 10 to 15 euros per person. Transit is cheap, usually a couple of euros for a ride, and if you're heading into the Douro Valley, tastings often start around 10 to 15 euros.
Coimbra is another great base. The old university town, good cafes, and prices that feel frozen in time.
Guimarães is the former capital of Portugal and is a true gem that makes for an affordable trip through wine country.
And if you head down to the Algarve, make sure to stick in Tavira, Lagos, or Faragudo. You'll see hotel prices stay sane, often around 60 to 90 euros instead of the sky-high resort numbers.
The best times to visit? April, May, late September, and October. Warmer weather, lower prices, and that perfect golden light Portugal does so well.
Croatia is stunning, but Dubrovnik is expensive. It's worth seeing, yes, but you can crush a budget in just one day.
The trick is exploring beyond the walls. Korčula is a favorite, quieter than Hvar, full of great food, and way easier on the wallet. You can still find rooms in the 40 to 80 euro range, and dinners usually land around 12 to 20 euros. Fares between the islands are also reasonable, often just a few euros to 15 euros depending on the distance.
The Pecs Peninsula is incredible for wine lovers, and now that the new bridge is open, getting there is smooth and border-free.
Zadar is also fantastic. You've got Roman ruins, sunsets, and the famous sea organ, which costs absolutely nothing. And if you want nature, visit Niet National Park. Cycling, lakes, and peaceful scenery for far less than the crowded hotspots. It's wonderful for cycling, and entry is usually in the 10 to 25 euro range.
Visit in May, June, September, or October. All the beauty with none of the premium prices.
Albania feels like a secret coastline that accidentally got left off the luxury travel brochures.
The Albania Riviera has the kind of bright blue water people cross oceans for, and a beachfront hotel can still cost only 35 to 60 euros on shoulder seasons. Meals are usually 6 to 12 euros, and local buses often cost 1 to 3 euros. Even longer distances rarely go above 10 euros.
Boat trips to beaches and coves, the kind of thing that costs a fortune in neighboring countries, often run 10 to 25 euros here.
Tirana is colorful and full of energy, and Bled and Gjirokaster are UNESCO heritage cities with incredible Ottoman-era architecture.
And if you love long road trips, the Ljubljana Pass has jaw-dropping views for the price of a tank of gas.
Guest house options can stay at around 35 to 50 euro range.
The best months to visit? Late May, June, September, or early October. You get summer weather without the midsummer crowds.
Montenegro may be small, but it packs a lot for budget travelers.
The Bay of Kotor is the really big draw. Think mountains dropping straight into the sea and an old town made for slow wandering. Stay just outside the center and your hotel bill drops dramatically, in the 40 to 70 euro range. And meals will run you around 10 to 15 euros. Local buses are cheap, usually a euro or two per ride, and boat trips around the bay often cost 10 to 20 euros.
Piraeus is another favorite, tiny, beautiful, and right on the water. And you can hop on a boat to the famous island for just a few euro. Even boat trips around the bay usually run 10 to 20 euros.
Budva has the nightlife, and other places have long sandy beaches. All of them stick to reasonable pricing if you visit outside the high season.
But Montenegro's interior is the real surprise. Head to Durmitor National Park and you'll feel like you suddenly landed in another country entirely. Alpine lakes, deep canyons, endless hiking trails, and far fewer tourists.
And it's still affordable. Entry to the national park is inexpensive. The guest houses in towns like Zablac often fall in the 35 to 60 euro range.
This is also one of the best places in Europe to rent a car without blowing your budget. Rental cars typically sit around 25 to 40 euros per day, and the roads are well marked and easy to navigate.
Perfect months to visit are May, June, September, and October. Warm on the coast, cool in the mountains, and much better pricing everywhere.
Slovakia is one of those countries where people overlook until they get there. Then they wonder, why did they wait so long?
Bratislava is compact, charming, and very walkable. The old town is full of great cafes, and hotels start around 50 euros outside of peak season. Meals usually fall in the 8 to 12 euro range per person, and trams cost about €1 per ride. In other words, easy on the wallet.
But the high Tatras are the real standout. Think dramatic mountain peaks, clear lakes, and some of Europe's best affordable hiking. It feels like alpine resorts, but without the alpine prices. Rooms often run around 50 to 80 euros, even in popular months.
Castle entries and museum visits stay affordable too, usually just 5 to 10 euros.
Late spring through early fall is the excellent time to visit, depending on whether you're hiking or skiing.
Romania is one of the few places left in Europe where your money stretches in a way that feels almost unreal.
Transylvania is full of highlights. Brasov, Cebu, Bran castles, the endless scenic drives through the Carpathians. Gorgeous!
The Transfiguration alone is worth the trip. Winding mountain roads, lakes, tunnels, everything you want from a European road trip.
And if you're thinking about renting a car, Romania is one of the best deals in Europe. Most rentals sit around 25 to 40 euros a day, depending on the season. It's great for exploring the countryside and the mountain roads at your own pace.
Bucharest also delivers. Great restaurants, lively nightlife, and hotels under 60 euros.
Hotel prices in Romania are still some of the lowest in Europe, especially for the quality you get. Budget hotels and guest houses are usually 30 to 50 euros a night for clean, comfortable rooms, and they often include breakfast in rural areas or smaller towns.
The best months to visit Romania are May, June, September, and early October. Summer gets hot, but it is still manageable.
And meals usually fall in the 8 to 12 euro range, and trams cost about €1 per ride. In other words, Romania is easy on the wallet.
Malta isn't typically budget, but if you time it right, it completely changes.
In May, September, or October, the hotel prices drop and the crowds spread out, and the water, it's still warm enough to swim in.
Valletta is one of the most beautiful capital cities in Europe. Compact, golden limestone everywhere, and full of history.
Mdina is another must-see, quiet, atmospheric, and has been in more film productions than you'd ever guess.
And then there's Gozo. It's perfect for hiking, diving, and slowing down.
Shoulder season turns Malta into one of the best value Mediterranean trips you can take. You can get hotels for under €100 per night in the right season, and meals will cost you about €15. Malta is a great alternative to the places on the Italian Riviera, the French Riviera, or the Greek islands.
So that'll do it for our Europe on a Budget guide here. These are the best affordable destinations for 2026.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe, because we are putting out videos every single week, and we've been to 120 countries, so we kind of know what we're doing.
So thanks for watching, and let us know if this was helpful for you in the comments.
And let us know where you will be visiting in Europe in 2026.
It just might make our next list.